the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon to the Crifi, yourself, the Honorable Minister of VSR, my colleagues here in Parliament, those of you in the Tribune, radio listeners, and those of you logged on to social media. Good afternoon. First of all, to the Honorable Minister, I would like to thank you for answering the questions. Echo the sentiments of my colleagues. You were thorough, and we really appreciate that. I would also like to commend you on your trip that you took to get an assessment of what's going on in the in Panama and Colombia and stuff. I believe when I left back in 2020, the amount that SZB paid in medical referrals were somewhere in the range of 30 million annually. I don't know if that's gone up. Can you enlighten me if that price has gone up or gone down? Is there more medical referrals? And lastly, I won't be too long, Madam Chair. Through you, lastly, I just want to emphasize on what MP Otley said, because oftentimes when we are in certain positions, we tend to just look at the figures, the numbers, and as it relates to the HAP, I think it's important to also take the persons that are in need of the care into consideration. So I would advise you or the incoming minister to revisit that whole arrangement, see if you can tweak it, but I don't think that it's something that should be done away with altogether, because at the end of the day, it ultimately helps the citizens of this country. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, MP Myers. Members of Parliament, Minister, I don't see any other member of Parliament wishing to react right now or to ask follow-up questions. So I look at you, Minister, and can you indicate how you would like to proceed with the few questions posed following your answers, or can you indicate that now? Would you like a brief adjournment at this time?
If possible, I would like a brief adjournment, maybe 5 minutes.
Sure.
Come back.
Thank you, Minister. This meeting will be adjourned for 5 minutes. Meeting adjourned. Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, Minister Janssen and her support staff, good afternoon and welcome back. We have concluded the questions posed to the Minister of VSA, and with respect to the answering to these, the Minister will now indicate how she would like to proceed with the answers, indicating, I believe, 1 or 2 right now, which the Minister can immediately go into, and then like those who, her colleague ministers who were here before, the agreement would then be established that whatever outstanding questions will be responded to in writing before we go into the public meeting debate for sure. So, Minister, I invite you now to take the floor on the matters that you wish to go into at this moment.
Madam Chair, through you, I would like to answer the questions in writing. I would send all the answers in writing, but I think that there were 3 main points of discussion, those being the HAP, the legal help desk, and the 4-day work week. And I would like to, I think that I have elaborated a lot on the HAP already, so I will send that in writing. But regarding the legal help desk, where the question comes that where is it on my priority list, and if it is a priority, and if I do see the necessity for it, yes, I do see the necessity. As mentioned when I was mentioning the priority list, the list is really long. There are so many things. It's easy to not mention something, and I would like to say that the legal help desk would be on my priority list. I can tell you that we have discussed within our ministry we've even discussed a psychologist hotline. It's similar to a help desk where you have lawyers, but maybe someone would just like to speak to someone on social or on psychological, for social or psychological assistance, that we can make more out of the help desk that we have. But the legal help desk is definitely of priority, and why can't it just get started? I will elaborate on that in writing, but we need to get back to the department and establish. I don't like to come out and put a date and we're going to start, etc., and then everything is not in place. I hate to see projects start and then they have to stop abruptly, or they cannot continue because it's not built in a sustainable manner. So I'm trying to work on having it sustainable. The other point was the 4-day work week, or what I would actually call flexible work, because 4-day work week, I link it to being paid for working 4 days a week. But if we are talking about flexible work, so starting on flexible times, or if we are talking about work from home, I must say that when I was a head of a department in government, I also implemented flexible working hours and work from home, also on a down low. And so I definitely support it in the sense of on a down low, that we had agreements with our workers that they could do some of their hours at home, and they were allotted a number of hours each week. And this was very successful as well, in the sense of people, for most, it was successful in the sense of how they felt working. Yes, they were happier. However, once we noticed that there were some people who were not working as they should, then we would tighten, and they would have to come back into the office for all of the hours. And we have seen this very successful in the Caribbean region with similar departments as the one that I ran, and it was done in the exact same way. So if this is something that any of the MPs would like to champion and would like to do, I definitely, when I'm in Parliament, would support an activity like this. That's what I wanted to say on for so far, and the rest I will submit in writing. Thank you.
Thank you, MP. Thank you, Minister of VSA,
Soon.
Minister Janssen, and MP Otley. You have a comment or remark to make. MP Otley, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I thank the Honorable Minister of ASR for even elaborating on those remarks. As it pertains to the help desk, my colleague next to me, MP Roseberg, stated that the list of lawyers was sent to you. This is very important because when I saw it today, I not only reached out to her, the MP, in her capacity as a lawyer, I reached out to other lawyers stating, come on, this is something that we can get to help the community. And a lot of them gave me the impression that they were not in agreement with the article because it kind of made them look, like they were not willing to give back. So now that the list is in, I would urge you to please prioritize this. And for me, Omar E.C. Otley, I would like at least a definite date in the public meeting. So then I know that it took your priority, and by the public meeting next week, we can have a definite start date for the people of St. Maarten. Thank you. And it's not only in the interest of MP Roseberg, also MP Akim Arundel, who brought it forward as well, who is not here right now. Thank you.
Thank you, MP Otley, for your comments. I'm sure the Minister has heard that. It is not the intention that we have the public meeting next week, by the way. So no, we'll be working on the reports from both sides, so from government side and parliament side, in order to have those reports ready for the public meeting. And the public meeting schedule will be, of course, communicated and done in collaboration with government once we have these written reports of all of the questions posed and the answers given. So the reports of the Central Committee meeting. So, but I'm sure the Minister heard your point, as raised all the points, and the point raised by MP Otley for this, during this meeting. So, Minister, with that understanding, I would like to thank you once again for your answers provided and your agreements to some of the matters that have been raised, which we will see again reflected in the reports of the Central Committee meeting handling the draft amended budget 2024. Members of Parliament, we continue with the ministers, and the next minister up is the Minister of Vromi. But again, I'll adjourn just for 2 minutes to allow the minister to take leave. And Minister, so this meeting is hereby adjourned just for 2 minutes for us to change ministers in their seats. Thank you, and this meeting is adjourned for 2 minutes. Meeting adjourned.